Maybe it's testosterone. So today we're going to do a little short on something that Lou doesn't even know what we're talking about yet, but I've had a good idea. And it's thoughts on jacked muscle girls. There's a question that we got on the previous podcast, which we didn't get to answer. So the girl and her cat, you have spurred this little short. And mine is this, right? What you're attracted to, okay, in social media at the moment, things like that, especially with the whole Me Too movement with women, a lot of the fitness girls and that started to get shit on for having abs and looking too jacked or muscular and things like that. Like, it was fit shaming.
Yeah, fit shaming.
And it was just disgusting. But it was basically lazy people saying, oh, you need to eat and all this stuff, when it's like, well, you need to actually stop eating, and they know what they're doing with eating, which is why they can eat and look like that. So, you know, do your fucking education first before you come on here and talk to women who are doing macros and eating really well through the day and just looking better for it.
Yeah.
You jealous fuck. But it was one of those where it's, oh, this isn't a real woman, or this isn't attractive. Yeah. I dislike this. And it's the fact that they think, and also there was the whole issue of, and this is the main topic, there was a whole agenda where they were saying that social media, movies and all this were making only certain types of women attractive, like slim, toned and all this kind of stuff. And my argument for this, and the topic of this short, is what you're attracted to is not depicted by what you watch on social media and stuff like that. It is genetic. And my reasoning for this is because I have always, since being a child, liked athletic looking women. Even I remember being like 8 years old in America.
Watching WWE.
Yeah, no, because there weren't women in it then, were there? Like wrestling, not wrestling. No, they were all sidekicks.
The divas.
They were the divas weren't really that good. They were going late into the 2000s, weren't they?
No,
before they were really wrestling.
You're a little older than me as well, though. So I remember divas when I was there, and the divas wrestled.
Yeah, but that was 2000s before women were starting wrestling. Surely.
Nah, they've been wrestling for ages. It wasn't as frequent, nowhere near where it is now.
I feel like it was later. I don't feel like I saw women wrestling prior to kind of what was she called, Trish Stratus and all that lot.
Yeah, Trish Stratus.
I think prior to that they weren't wrestling; they were just having custard fights and rolling around in mud.
Yeah, but either way, that's like as a child.
That's different though. They were just models.
Yeah, but they were still like they were.
Anyway,
in shape,
it wasn't wrestling. They did it. No, I am still like, for me, like a shapely girl but built shapely is more attractive to me than a slim girl who's just slim. Mm-hmm. Like I would actually, sometimes it's too little for me.
Yeah.
They're like, could be very pretty, but if they just like flat bum, slim, just straight up and down, I'm just like, nah, not for me. And it could be stunning, but it's for that, the athletic shape and physique is, I don't know, that's what does it for me, a little bit of thickness to that muscle. You know, and that has been since I was a child, and you cannot deter me from that, no matter what you show me on social media, no matter what you show me in movies. All the way through, I will either immediately like or dislike the female that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And it's an innate mechanism within me that I don't have a choice over. And it's that thing where also men can be shamed for like, well, you'll only go with a girl who has abs. And then they're like, that's not a real woman. Hey, fuck you. Like, don't tell me what I have to like and not like.
That's the annoying thing, isn't it, though? Because all of this has been spurred on by people who maybe they got bullied when they were younger, when they were at school or whatever else, and they felt like they've been shamed for not being in shape. So then the almost the answer to it now, because in some situations the tables potentially have turned for now it being fit shaming. It's so hypocritical that they're then doing the same thing, because also a lot of the time these fitness people, they don't care what you look like. You can just be you.
I can give a shit.
Like, yeah, people just be themselves. It doesn't matter what you do. Like, everyone's got their own choices. If you want to prioritise health and fitness, then do it. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah, unless I want to squeeze your jubbly bits, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? So then random people that are looking after themselves and trying to be healthy, then getting criticised for it, that's, if anything, that's even worse, because you could potentially argue that people that were fat shaming, and I don't agree with fat shaming at all, but like people that were pointing it out to people that what someone's doing is not healthy. That's not fat shaming. That's pointing out a fact. If somebody's morbidly obese, you're going to not live as long, and you're going to have a lot more.
And you're going to be a strain on the NHS system. If you're in England, you know, the National Health Service is going to be struggling to make sure that you live longer than you probably should because of the deterioration of your heart, your lungs, your joints, the fact that you're probably going to end up diabetic and then need all that kinds of treatment. And eventually wheelchair bound, where you're now entitled to taxpayers' money for mobility scooters and things like that. And what gets me is, and this has always been my argument, I don't dislike overweight people. What I dislike is the fact that somebody is able, that we enable and allow people to or basically eat themselves to death without intervention, when somewhere, and this is my reasoning behind it, is there is a kid. This is always what I've always thought. That person could be healthy, but they're eating themselves to death. And somewhere there's a kid strapped to an oxygen tank that would want nothing more and do anything to just be able to run and kick a fucking football.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker's eating themselves to death. And I just can't in my head fathom that how you waste life like that.
Yeah, but it's the thing with a lot of people, and I think it's a lot more apparent now that overeating isn't just this thing that people do. It's actually a mental health issue. That's a mechanism.
I think it's a societal issue. I think it's the fact we're come on, you can't say that we're not making it a norm for people to be overweight.
Of course we are. Yeah, of course we are.
That's wrong. Yeah. Like you should feel ashamed of yourself if you are morbidly obese.
I don't agree with that.
No, I think it goes. So what else is going to fire you up? Like, I'm ashamed of myself if I slack off for 3 weeks. I'm ashamed of myself because I have the ability to not do that.
I don't think anyone should feel ashamed of themselves.
No, I think you should. I think it's a good motivator. If you're able to look at yourself and be ashamed, it's not a bad thing. Like, look at yourself. It's acknowledgement. It's accountability.
In my opinion, they're different things. I think that feeling ashamed of yourself, that's quite a detrimental feeling. And for some people, you're saying for you, that's something that's motivating.
I've literally looked in the mirror and talked to myself.
But for somebody else,
a good long talk to myself.
For somebody else, though, that then feeds into that issue. Then that feeling of,
I know that's going to split a room, but for me, being accountable for yourself and looking at yourself and being like "fuck you" is a good thing, but then I look at things in a positively critical way. So like, I'll accept what I've done. That's all it is. It's accepting your own failure.
Yeah.
And that to me is being ashamed is acknowledging my failure, because I'm ashamed that I allowed it to get that far, but I fucking accepted it now and I'm ashamed of it, so I'm going to make a fucking difference.
Yeah, I think that for me, it shouldn't be that you should be ashamed of yourself. It's that you should actually face reality with it. It's more the fact that, somebody at some point might point out to you that the fact that, being morbidly obese means you're probably not spend any time with your grandkids because you're gonna die young. And
well, also, surely it's fucking hurt, like on a daily basis. The pains, the issues, the shit where you can't see your own feet. You can't bend down to pick something up. You can't get up a flight of stairs without there being pain or whatever the fuck they feel. It can't be pleasant.
No,
and to just live with that.
But it's not knowing, though. It's like they don't know any other way. That's life for them. And I think
that's where I disagree with it, you see, because we're making it like acceptable. They're not realizing that isn't life.
Yeah.
That isn't life, and it's not acceptable.
It should be a much... Yeah, I agree 100% on that. That normal should be fit and healthy, because ideally we would have a society where being fit and healthy...
Just being able to go for a jog... That's all you should be able to do. Yeah. Like, if you need to run from something scary, that's where you should be at. Run, fight, and survive. That's the level of fitness you should be at. No one's asking you to be an Olympic swimmer or weightlifter or boxer. Just take care of yourself, like, to a reasonable extent.
But I think we, people that are into fitness, confuse people that aren't. Because one of the meetings, my first meeting this morning, it was actually like a networking group for business owners. And first time in this networking group. And there was a lot of people that this was slightly older. I'd say the average age was probably 50. And, when they found out that I owned a gym, And then like they were like, looking a bit scared. They were like they almost then felt guilt because they like to have a drink or whatever else. Everyone they were just
That's
a room
the
of normal
misconception,
people,
isn't it? That people think that because you're fit, you're this kind of zealot from anything that's fun, like drinking. Do you know what? I'm going to take back the word ashamed. My brain just heard it out loud. I'm going to take that back, and I'm going to replace not ashamed of yourself, upset with yourself. I think upset's a better one.
I'd say
because I know people are going to take ashamed the wrong way, as it's different to the way I see it. So let me rephrase it: that you should be upset and unhappy with yourself, which to me is ashamed. But I'm just putting it now in softer terms, in case it did bother people. But we've gone a bit tangenty from it. But the point is we've made it out now, so much so that not just being morbidly obese anyway, not to about but being generally overweight is now becoming a norm. And these people are now fighting back against others who are keeping themselves fit and healthy. And most of these people are keeping themselves to themselves. They're not coming out and saying anything. They're just trying usually to help people on social media, most of the time for fucking free, and getting shit for it.
Well, in that group that I was in this morning, someone was having a conversation. We were just chatting away normally, and then he said something about having a drink, and then like cut his sentence short, and then was like, "Oh yeah, you probably don't drink," and like just went really awkward for a second.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I drink. I drink at least once a week. And he's like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'm a normal. I was like, I literally said to him, I was like, I'm a normal human. I drink alcohol.
Just better than you.
I drink alcohol. I occasionally have a cigar. I occasionally have a takeaway.
And here's my lack of education comes into point, because we do all this shit and stay in shape. Yeah. So everyone can do this. We're not magic beans. Yeah. Like everyone can have a drink, have takeaways, go out, eat meals out, have fun, see their friends, party, do all of this shit in a balance that keeps you healthy and fit. So there's no reason you can't. And no, like I said, when nobody's asking anyone to be shredded with abs, but getting back to the point, I don't expect all women to be shredded with abs, so I find them attractive. I don't actually like them when they're too overly lean, but I mean, I like muscled, shaped, athletic, function. I like a girl who looks like she could deadlift. I like a girl who looks like, if you wanted to go and play... If you wanted to go play like paintball or rugby, they'd be like, I can do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I like. And I've had that since I was a kid. And just because I like that, and then there's a girl looking at us who said, well, I don't look like that. That's fine. Yeah. And it's okay that I don't find you attractive. Yeah. Because I don't need to find every single person I look at attractive.
What nightmare that would be.
Imagine. I know, but then they seem to take offense that when I say, someone like me says that because I look my way. If I was still a skinny little rake, that's still what I'd find attractive. Yeah. It just so happens I also like looking like that, like the way I look.
Yeah, it's a preference, isn't it? It's the same as saying like, I like blondes. I've always liked blondes. Yeah. That's been my thing.
And that's a byproduct of both things probably. I've changed my body to look the way I want it to look, probably in a similar line to what I find attractive, because I like to what I see in the mirror, to what do I find acceptable, what am I not ashamed of looking in the mirror. So hence why I use the word ashamed. See how it flows with me. It's not a negative. It's just for me, it's a positive critique. So I just think we have to have this pullback on this nonsense of these little soapbox fuckwits that are basically lazy people not wanting to do something, who are just fit shaming people and women. And it's happening with men now. You're getting more of these kind of online PTs coming on and saying like, oh, like almost shaming guys for having abs. And I'm really kind of against that, because most of the people I know and work with are very sensible, full-lifed human beings who live life very, very in a balanced and exciting way. They don't hold things back, and they go and party, and they go to Ibiza, and they do all this shit, and you're saying because they have abs that they're almost insinuating that there's some vanity-driven prick. Yeah. And I'm like, well, hey, no, come on. And there's certain people who are saying this who clearly just can't get abs. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, no one gives a shit, but you've got
there is always going to be that element of
a vendetta there. And I think that's I think it's twisted to approach it, because it's a silent protest almost, because they're like, they know they're going to get people on board who are like, hey, look at the no ab guy. Yeah. And then we're like, yeah, no ab team. Yeah. I just don't like that mentality.
Yeah, I think on that, like, they don't realise what happens when that goes on like a large scale, because that little bit of jealousy, which I imagine most of the time that's where it's coming from, or that kind of they're that anti-fit person because they got picked on by the athletic kid at school or whatever hang up they've
look at
got.
a strong man, they don't give no shits about abs, and you never hear them complaining about blokes with abs.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're confident in themselves.
Yeah, that's it.
They don't
It is
need to.
confidence.
So, and this is the problem. And so what I think we need is to stop bullshitting and stop saying to people, "Oh, you're fine the way you are." No, fuck you. You want to improve? Yeah, you can fucking improve. And it's pretty easy. You can do it this way. Yeah. So let's stop these motherfuckers.
Normalise fitness.
Yeah. Yeah, bring it back. Because they're almost trying to bastardize it and make it into this negative.
Yeah, not when they're saying that you can be fit at any shape and size. No, you can't.
No, absolute bullshit.
Wrong.
I did a video on this after some stupid woman went on this morning or something like that with Phil and Holly, Willy Booby.
Oh yeah.
And they're on there, and
She's hot.
She was morbidly obese. And she was on there telling them that she was perfectly healthy. I'm just like, in what fucking universe are you living in? Like, how uneducated are you? And she was claiming because her blood pressure was normal that she was healthy. And Phil and Holly, to be fair to them, challenged the fuck out of her. And she couldn't answer any of their shit. She just kept coming back to blood pressure and that I'm healthy and I look great the way I am and I shouldn't be ashamed. This is what she was saying.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why I don't like that. They've used ashamed as this thing like it's a real negative thing, where it's weird. It should be an inward look. Anyway, my word with the shame thing, it's not an argument about it. But this woman basically had a whole load of other, like, tubberoos behind her with the same low mentality of, we're fine the way we are. When you're fucking dying. And when challenged, all they needed to say to us, cool, you're fit? Yes. You feel fit? Yeah, cool. Just give me 10 jumping squats. She wouldn't have, she'd have been physically incapable.
Yeah.
Physically incapable.
The thing is as well, that
it's on national TV.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though if she wasn't in shape and she was just like, yeah, I'm not in shape, that's just me. I don't care.
I don't care, yeah.
Yeah.
But then she was pushing.
Yeah.
That society should accept this as normal.
Yeah, and then that's going to facilitate anyone else who's morbidly obese, whatever their situation is. But if that woman's morbidly obese and she's healthy, then maybe I'm healthy as well because I'm morbidly obese.
And the pop and this thing, and then it was, and you shouldn't. All these women are unrealistic. That's what the whole thing was, and it really angered me because these girls, I know a lot of them, have worked hard. They train every day. You know, they enjoy, like, they eat balanced. They're not starving themselves. They're very creative with their meals. Like, a lot of these girls online are almost have fucking near enough, basically just short bite-sized cooking shows. They come up with really creative meals that are delicious and often involve chocolate and lots of other stuff in there because you can have that in a balanced diet. They work hard to look the way they look and they're being shit on for it, and I don't like it. And it just, I think, what you find attractive is fine. Whatever you like is perfect. Don't judge. Don't start trying to put other people down on the basis of, you can't achieve something or you don't like it. It really, really angered me because I saw some of these girls on the online bending towards it. Did you see the whole look at my rolls bullshit that went on for a little bit? They've kind of, it's kind of gone on the flip side now where they're all back being like, fuck you, I'm a strong woman. The strong woman move is getting a bit better.
I think it was because there's the angles and all of that. That was almost getting very deceptive.
But there were girls who were clearly in great shape and they were folding themselves in half to show a skin fold and be like, look, I'm normal. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Why don't you're letting this minority of people dumb you down into this nonsense. You should be stood there going, no, I look like this and I've worked fucking hard to. And I'm proud of it. And if you don't like it, well, suck a tit.
Yeah, that's the thing. People don't have to like it. Don't follow me. Whatever. People deliberately follow people to get pissed off with their content. Yeah, which is fucking backwards.
On an equal thing, there's loads of girls out there who like husky guys.
Yeah,
like literally love nothing more than a big barrel-chested bloke with a less soft belly to lie on. Yeah, there's some girls that will detest the way I look.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's
I couldn't give a fuck.
There is people that find all different types of shapes and sizes attractive.
Horses for courses.
To get back onto the actual initial topic of attractiveness.
It's a multifaceted topic, but I can't wrap my head around it. Like when people shit on you for saying you find a certain thing attractive.
Yeah. For me, like part of the attractive, because again, I like somebody who looks more athletic, not so much muscular, but definitely more athletic.
Looks like they could go on a hike with you.
Yeah, because part of that is, and like that's not just because I don't want somebody who's I don't want to be in a relationship. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who's incapable of looking after themselves physically.
Yeah.
Like I like the fact that Emma can run and jump and she can climb and she fucking on like Ultimate Ninja smashes everybody. Like I like the fact that somebody's like athletic. I just think that being around, for me, being around a girl, if she relied on me for everything physical, I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to like make a connection with them. I'd just be like, you're useless. Like, what's the point of you?
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be the person who I'd be able to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's just me being me.
And I think we just need to. I think we all just need to have a bit of a whole. I think so. If you're in a moment, like if you're thinking something negative about something that you're looking at, because is it really something you're looking at? Is that thing you're looking at negative, or is the way you're processing it negative? Like, are you just letting jealousy spur a bit of that feeling and things like that? Because you really need to wind it in and make sure that you're following.
Think about the bigger picture. Think about like what that message is actually saying to other people. And fair enough if it is. It's okay to be as you are, but then don't push your own agenda of, I am fit. When do you actually know if you're fit? Because I didn't know if I was fit and healthy until I got bloods done, until I got genetic testing, until I can actually do all the things that I can do in the gym. There's so many things.
And they all came back good for both of us, but I'm not fit. Like I haven't done enough cardio now because I'm tearing off. I was flying before, but then obviously that's backed me off my boxing. Now I didn't change boxing into another cardio. I just stopped the cardio because I don't know why. Because I enjoyed the boxing and I don't enjoy going on a treadmill. Yeah. So cardio fit. I'm not. Technically, I'm not fit. Like if you want me to go do Tough Mudder, I'd probably get through it. But you ask me to do a Tough Mudder the next day, not a chance. It's like I'd be a one-hit wonder at this moment in time. Yeah. So, and for me, that's not fit. Like fit for me would be able to go and do something functional, active day after day after day after day.
Yeah, but also
that's cardiovascular.
That's your standard, though. I think like most people don't need to be able to do that to be.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is people might look at me and go, "He's fit," when the actual reality is, just like people who look at like overweight people and like, "Oh, they're normal and they're healthy."
Yeah,
that's not true as much as it's not true to just look at somebody like me and think I'm also fit because I have the same adherence. I have to adhere to the same standard that I've said to other people is my goal is to be cardio fit, and I should, even though I might look it, I'm not, and I'm ashamed of myself for not being because I have the capability to be it.
Well, it's not even worth going down the whole fucking rabbit hole of actually what is fit and healthy when you look at these massive bodybuilders and then like, you're then definitely not healthy.
Yeah, we know that's not fit. Yeah. But I'm just saying, everything, there's more similarities than in very different people. And that's because everybody separates us. Like they'll separate people into fitness away from people who are not into fitness and maybe have a weight issue going on. Whereas there's no separation. We're actually the same group. And if you just put us on a path, some of us are further up the path than the other people, but it doesn't mean you can't fucking catch up and it doesn't mean you can't fall back.
And also you can have, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that have friend groups that all do different things and look completely different. Yeah. Like, I don't have to, a friend of mine doesn't have to be into fitness. Like, I don't have a fucking mental checklist of what actually is going to make me like you. I don't know,
really, if any of my friends are.
Yeah.
You are probably the most. Everyone else is like just a bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I was going to say, I've got plenty of friends from the gym, but outside of that...
They're all active. They all do stuff.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah.
That's definitely not a preference.
They wouldn't be my friend if they didn't, because I'm not into that.
Yeah, it's getting out and about.
Would I, if they didn't do stuff like fun shit?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think people, that was a really good point, actually. People are very quick to segregate people, and like we might be put into the fitness category, and people get a bit like uncomfortable when they're around us because they're like, oh, look at this guy. He clearly doesn't drink alcohol, and I was shit faced last night. And then like me and you are actually
every week
get drunk sometimes.
Yeah. And it's that thing. And honestly, for the fact that I think a lot of it comes from as well. like judgment factors, but these people that are the most judging are actually you're judging people who don't judge others. Like most fitness people don't. I don't judge anyone. If I see someone in the gym, I'm not judging you because you're in the fucking gym. What are you on about? You're in the gym. Yeah. How would I judge somebody who's in there making effort?
Yeah, that pisses me right off.
What I'm doing is judging the prick on TV, telling everybody it's okay to keep gaining weight when they're morbidly obese. Yeah, I'm judging that fucker.
Yeah.
Because you are negatively inspiring younger generations, you fuckwit.
Yeah.
And you know full well that you're lying, and you've taken your lie so big that you're now on TV with it, and so you're going full bore just for the attention because it's your 15 minutes or whatever it is. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was tangenty, but it was a good one. But there's no right answer to end this one on.
No.
I just think here's the thing: just understand. Just if you feel you can be doing more in something, start doing more.
Yeah.
Don't keep going backwards, because if it's making you feel negative, and you can't tell me that if you're overweight and don't want to be, that you're okay with it. You can't. Don't lie to me, and don't lie to yourself.
Yeah. Just you can do what you want to do. It's your life. You make the decisions, and don't impose that on.
And don't shit on other people by their choices as a result, just because you might like to be where they are, but you don't quite know how to get there.
Yeah.
Because there's always a fucking way. And you know what? That person that you're saying that shit to would probably tell you the answer if you just asked them nicely.
Probably.
Yeah.
Remember how the Hodge twins used to end some of the videos? Do whatever the fuck you want.
What the
do whatever the fuck you wanna do. I miss Hodge twins.
Piss some people off, brother. Yeah. But fuck it. Hey, I'm sure most of that didn't come out in the most politically correct way, but it's all said with good sentiment. You know what we're trying to say. Look around the nonsense of words that I used earlier on that you might take offence from. In my head, they're not. So I didn't mean any.
Right, let's wrap it up at that.
Yeah. Hey, and if you were offended, it's all right.
Yeah, you can be offended, and that's okay.
Go and have a wibbly wobble. Mm-hmm. I'm all right.
Get pissed off and write it in the comments.
Yeah. Have a wibbly wobble in the comments.
Yeah. Thumbs down the video. Do it. I fucking dare you.
Put some angry emojis.
Double dare you. Yeah.
Double angry emoji face. With a middle finger symbol.
Go for it.
Have fun.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye.